Is there anyone else here who remembers what this stage once was? Not a backdrop, not a pose, not a stepping stone, but a place of truth. And today, theater and cinema have long been plagued by a scourge, a quiet, creeping disease that doesn't scream. It smiles with a shark's grin, perverting and devouring the very mission of art. They call it progress. They call it diversity. I call it decay. Sexual harassment in theater and film. Weinstein, Cosby, Epstein, Diddy. Everyone knows it, but no one speaks up. Inappropriate behavior. The glorification of violence in the name of the art of acting. Crossing boundaries is sold as courage, and brutality as expression. The destruction of language. Words are broken, twisted, gutted, until they carry nothing but noise. The mutilation of Shakespeare's classics in the name of self-obsessed conformity. They call it interpretation. I see only amputation. The defamation and ostracism of fellow artists who hold a different opinion. The applause is no longer for courage, but for the correct stance. And those who deviate, they disappear. Cancelled. The spread of pedophilic ideologies. Children's programs with sexual content. Masturbation rooms in kindergarten. The sexualization of children. Boundaries that were once sacred are being renegotiated, as if they were negotiable. And yet, we know what this art can be. The art of acting teaches us to think critically and independently. It teaches us to question, not to follow blindly. It teaches us to be courageous, to express ourselves honestly, not polished, not filtered, but to be authentic, to perceive our feelings unclouded, not polished to a glossy sheen for the audience, but raw, vulnerable, alive. It teaches us to respect others and their opinions, and to find greatness precisely in that. And yet, most people just go with the flow, out of fear, out of convenience, out of the simple fear of losing their place. And then, at the same time, they claim that they would definitely have been part of the resistance during the Third Reich. What a joke. Resistance doesn't begin in the past. It begins here, now, on this stage. Or not at all. Shakespeare's plays criticize the abuse of power and clearly depict its devastating consequences. Kings fall, empires crumble, truth fights and often loses. And today, yet in many theaters, oppression and abuse of power persist, hidden behind grand rhetoric, disguised as a necessity in the name of artistic freedom, often driven by selfish and ideological motives, yet always excused by the supposedly higher purpose, all for the sake of art. How small that purpose has become. Theater and the art of acting must be critical, or they are nothing. They must be allowed to present the truth honestly and unvarnished, even if that truth is uncomfortable, even if it hurts. For if they do not, they serve only as propaganda for domineering politics, becoming a tool instead of a voice, an echo instead of a source. Then they are empty and soulless, a tool of delusion and destruction. And then all that remains of the stage, of film, of art, is just an empty shell. No uplift, no inspiration, no courage. Yet that must not be their end, for their purpose has always been something else: to uplift, to inspire, to encourage, to remind people that they can be more than what they are allowed to be. So I ask you, who is still performing here? and who has long since stopped, but still calls it art? And when the curtain rises again, what do you want to see? A mirror that flatters you and lies to you? Or one that finally shows the truth, even if it hurts?